Hollywood Reporter makes it so hard to go ahead and put some of these stories together because they have their alignment of how they put their stories where it's like so far off to the left alignment that I can't really do anything with it. And there's not any way for me to go ahead and just come over here, try to go ahead and take this out and just like take out the whole thing that they do here. It's hard for me to do. I can't get it to work. Well, that's a good way to do it. Here we go. I could do it like this. Perfect, huh? Hey, instinct-to-itiveness. I can figure out a way to do it. Just got to do it this way where I'm doing the inspect element part of Google Chrome so I can put the story over here. Anyway, here's what it is. Black writers challenge studios to commit to change. Hollywood. What you do next is Paramount. So here's the story they're talking about. I want to bring this up here. So the WGA West, Writers Guild of America West's Committee of Black Writers penned an open letter to Hollywood calling for the industry to abolish practices of only hiring from exclusive lists and demanding systematic change. Okay. So in this story, I'm fine with this part, but the one thing that they got to be experiencing as well and considering is that you already have a point of contention where you can create systematic change. It's the strike. It's the labor unions. Your fight is not so much against the studios. It's not so much against the networks. The unions have to go ahead and fight for you. They have to fight for equality for you. So the Writers Guild need to go and work on this. The Association of Motion Picture and Television Producers have already made a deal right now with the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. That's already done. They're making a deal together to get things going forward on the contract. The Writers Guild needs to get to the Association of Talent Agents. Then you have other issues where SAG-AFTRA has to work off of this. AMPTP has to work off of this. IATSC has to work off of this. So this particular situation, just calling for abolishing practices, well, you change the system by getting the labor union issue on the table because everybody's still on strike. As everybody might have forgotten, you might not remember that back in November of last year, I talked about on the Broadcasters podcast about how this is going to be a problem. All the different labor issues were going to come to light. We're at this point now. Take advantage of the labor unions. Take advantage of the strike situation. Don't let the strike subside. Take this to the mediators. Now, here's what's said in the story. So following many statements about supporting black voices, writers felt it was their duty as peers to respond. They said, quote, we are grieving, we are angry, we are unapologetically demanding systemic change. Emphasizing, quote, it's not just the future of our industry, of our livelihood as writers, but our very lives as black Americans that depend on you listening thoughtfully to what we have to say in response. So the writers called the current social political scene a reckoning, going on to acknowledge that the COVID-19 pandemic has left millions unemployed and uninsured, especially black Americans. Now, give me a moment while I go ahead and fix this so I can make it a little bit easier for everybody to go and read. Thank you very much. All right, moving myself back up. So now, they reference the statements of many TV networks about their commitment to empowering black voices in entertainment, noting that they would base the validity of these statements on how they go about enacting new policies. So there are black writers in Hollywood who have made it, but are still underpaid, denied jobs, and rejected from writers' rooms for lack of experience. Quote, we need to revolutionize the way our industry hires writers. When companies and studios claim to champion diversity, but refuse to prioritize hiring black writers for a writer's room or contribute to black narratives, you're perpetuating a system that either exploits or excludes black experience and perspective. Not only are you discounting the impact of black voices to authenticate the narrative you're putting into the world, but you're telling us, your peers, that our impact is not important or valuable to the work this industry produces. Now listen, they're saying abolishing the practice of only hiring writers from exclusive lists and expand their circle. Well, listen, what you could do right now to create systemic change is don't capitulate to the talent agencies. Don't capitulate to the studios and to the other organizations. There's already Hollywood right now in disarray with all the labor unions and all the issues that are going on, where everybody's kind of working on like some kind of a makeshift piecemeal kind of a deal extending contracts. but a true 5-year, 10-year contract is not in place. Make your demands at the mediation, at the, if you need to, put the picket signs out, because nobody's put out picket signs yet. The writers, the producers, the screenwriters, the talent, that is where your fight is at. So putting this out here, in my opinion, is lip service. You're asking for something that you can't necessarily expect Hollywood to go ahead and make a change. It's an institution, and there's a system. So you have to break within the system. You got to get them at a moment of leverage. So putting this out here, this doesn't help because honestly, the protests don't do anything to make this change. This effort of a power grab is not effective unless you use it in the strikes. So WGA, Writers Guild of America, Committee of Black Writers, with all due respect, take this to the bargaining table. Take it to the strikes. Take it to ATA, take it to SAG-AFTRA, take it to AMPTP, take it to IATSE, take it to the labor unions. You make them work for you. That's where the equality is supposed to start, isn't it?